The funeral had already started. She wasn't late. She was more than 10,000 kilometers away. Her grandmother had died in Peru. She was standing in a small apartment kitchen in Germany, still wearing the same clothes she had worn to work that morning, just getting started to change. Her phone buzzed. Video call from mom. She answered. For a few seconds, nothing happened. Just, that black screen, the connection being established. Then the image slowly appeared. First, a few blurry colors, then a ceiling, someone's forehead. The camera turned sideways. A hand covered the lens. The sound cut in and out, like very poor connection. Finally, she saw the church. And it was full of people. Hi, I'm Vinny. This is Between Passports. I have debated with myself if I actually should share this one story today, because it's a tough one. But in respect to Maria, that's how we'll call her, I think I should do it. Maria lived in Germany for almost 4 years now. She had left Lima in Peru with one suitcase, a nursing degree, and a promise to herself that she would build a better life. It wasn't glamorous. She worked long shifts. She rented a small apartment. Every month, she sent money home. Sometimes a little, sometimes almost everything she could spare. Her grandmother always refused to accept it. "Keep it," she would say. "You will need it more than I do." Well, Maria sent it anyway, and immigrants know that feeling of sending money back home. Every month, the phone calls became routine. Birthdays, Christmas, Sunday afternoons, nothing dramatic. She just wanted to be a little bit part of the life that was still going on in Lima, her home. She just wanted to be part of that life. Just enough to pretend that distance wasn't really distance. Until one Tuesday morning, her phone rang before she was leaving for work. She knew it was super early in Peru. She got a little bit scared because, phone calls that early in the morning usually are not a good sign. Her grandmother had passed away during the night. The funeral would be in 2 days. Maria, after the shock, opened every airline website she could think of. She refreshed them over and over, hoping the numbers would somehow change. They didn't. We know how airlines can be ruthless sometimes. The cheapest ticket cost more than 2 months of rent. She looked at her bank account, looked at the price again, closed the laptop, opened it again, as if hoping that prices would change, as if hoping that her need could make prices change. Well, it couldn't. Then there was work also. She had only recently started a new job. She hadn't accumulated enough vacation. Calling in sick for several days wasn't really an option, even if somehow she bought the ticket. And we know as immigrants, there are like so many layers that we have to go through if we want to make big decisions like that. There are so many pieces of that puzzle. There was still everything waiting for her when she returned, if she went. Bills, rent, life. Immigration has a strange way of asking impossible questions. Not what do you want, but which loss can you survive? The day of the funeral arrived. She made coffee, didn't drink much of it, put on the black sweater her grandmother had once said made her look elegant. Not because anyone would see it, just because it felt wrong not to. At exactly 11 in the morning, Germany time, The WhatsApp call began. Someone in Peru carried the phone into the church. No one had planned how to film a funeral, and that's also a way that families back home have to carry whenever there's someone who leaves. The phone shook with every step. People whispered. Someone forgot to mute themselves. The microphone rubbed against the jacket. The coffin came into view. The picture froze, loaded, froze again. Every few seconds, the faces became squares of color pixels before turning back into people. We know how those poor connections can affect our sanity. Maria kept moving closer to the screen and pacing around her kitchen, as if walking back and forth would make her get closer to the family that was in the church. But she was more than 10,000 kilometers away. When her mom cried, the audio disappeared. When it came back, the crying had stopped. She never heard it, only saw the tears afterwards. People stood up, sat down, prayed, hugged each other. She watched every embrace, but no one could hug her. After the ceremony, relatives gathered outside. Someone remembered she was still on the call. The phone passed from cousin to aunt to uncle, all the people she grew up with, and she missed them so much at that very moment. Everyone saying the same thing. We are sorry. She loved you. She knew you wanted to be here. Each conversation lasted less than a minute because obviously someone else wanted the phone, and it's really hard to talk in that kind of situation. Then the battery was almost dying. The screen went black. The funeral was over. She was still standing in her kitchen. The dishwasher hummed quietly behind her. Outside, she could hear the train. A neighbor laughed somewhere in the hallway. Germany continued exactly as it always had, as if nothing had happened. A few weeks later, someone asked her if she had gone back to Peru for the funeral. She answered, "No, I watched it on WhatsApp." They nodded politely, then changed the subject. She realized they thought they understood, but they didn't. Watching a funeral isn't attending one. It's witnessing goodbye through a window you can't open. Months later, Maria noticed something that kind of scared her. Whenever she remembered her grandmother's funeral, she didn't remember the church, the flowers, the room full of people she loved. She remembered her phone, pixels, frozen screens, a voice cutting in and out. The last goodbye she would ever had been compressed by an internet poor connection. People often think the hardest part of immigration is leaving. Sometimes the hardest part is not being able to return. Maria, if you're listening, thank you very much for sharing this one with me and with everyone that listens to this show. We all hope you'll have the strength to keep moving forward. I'm Vinny. This is Between Passports, where we ask the question that nobody wants to answer out loud. Do I hear an accent?
We are Between Passports. Glad you're here. Share your story at betweenpassports.com.